Hello, friends. Welcome to Tea Time with Amie and Bev. Again, this week I'm here flying solo, and just know that Beverly is with us in spirit. Um, she's still in the physical form, don't get me wrong there, but she's has some family situation to take care of, and her spirit is with us right now. So just keep that in mind as we spend this time together. So last week I talked about past lives, and that is something that's a topic that really gets me excited. I love talking about it. So when you talk about past lives, that references reincarnation. It references that we go into spirit, and we are in a space of energy with, to me, with source, and then we come back and we choose to come back into another body. On that return trip, the way I envision it and the way I have heard it from many teachers is that, we as a spirit, keeping in mind being in a spirit energy, and that spirit energy is pure love and joy, that we decide as spirit energy that we want to come back, and we want to come back into the physical body. We want to have an earth life, an experience here. And think about this. So it's a matter of getting your mindset wrapped around pure love and joy. So when you've been in that space in your physical body and you've had experience where you are having so much fun and you're just elated, exhilarated, excited, and it just seems like you can conquer the world. Like everything is easy, everything flows, and it's just so good. Now, go from a physical body to spirit, who is the energy and essence of love and joy. That's the energy, or that's the space that we would be in with that same emotional experience. So when we choose to come to earth, or we make that choice that we're gonna come back to earth or come to earth, like it's like going to your favorite park, like entertainment park, like Disneyland or Magic Mountain or whatever that might be, and how fun and exciting that might be for you. And our spirit's like, woo, going to earth, I'm having an amazing time, and so then the spirits in our, what they call clusters. So it's taught, and there's many teachers, and there's many ways that teachers bring forth their information about being in spirit and then coming into the physical body. And to me, what works for you, what feels good to you. If none of this feels good to you, then you might want to turn this off right now. Don't listen any further. But reincarnation, coming back life after life after life, to me works, and it makes sense because of some of the experiences that I've had that I shared in the last video of our past lives reel. So if you're just catching this, you haven't watched that one, maybe you want to go watch it before continuing with this one. But again, it's your choice. We always have choices in what direction we're going to go. So our spirit is excited, and then there's, in our cluster of spirit energy, let's just call them, so your human mind can understand. Think about a director getting ready to do a theater play or a movie, right? You need actors. You need people to play the parts. You need people to play these certain roles. And so in energy and spirit, these clusters are of the energies that says, yeah, I'll be your mom this time, and I'll be your dad this time, and I'll be you know, the aunt, or I'll come as your child or your children, or right. So it's like everybody chooses their roles, and then right, we come into this life, and for sure, what makes sense to me, we choose our parents. And we choose our parents to bring us into the exact, or the experience, the life experience that is going to help our spirit grow. Now, it's like we have a life theme. And, you know, it's going to be for you to discern what that life theme is. For me, in this lifetime, I have found that so, you know, you go to college, you have a major and a minor. My major, definitely self-love. Hands down, the biggest topic that I needed to learn, self-love. And the background of that is when my mom got pregnant, my biological father hit the road. Whatever his story is, I don't completely know the story. Then two mentally and emotionally abusive stepfathers. And then by the time the third stepfather came, I was pretty much done. I was a teenager, close to being a teenager at that time. I was kind of over it. So I had the attitude. And so instead of embracing the love of my family, when, you know, a damaged teenager, they're going to find other means to feel loved and accepted. So that may have been for me, that would have been the boys, right, in school. Because originally, that is my issue, was male energy, men not feeling loved by biological father. So that's where it started. And then just abuse and abuse. So having that block, that love needed to come. I needed acceptance and approval from a man. And so that was my focus in school, was getting the boys to like me, right? If they liked me, then I felt loved and accepted. So then there were some other events that took place that well, let's just say that when a teenage boy gets what he wants, they're out, they're done. Okay. So then it was just a continuous cycle of beating myself up. What did I do wrong? How come I'm not good enough? And it wasn't the what did I do wrong, for sure, was a question, a verbal question, a forefront in the thought process. But the I'm not good enough story was in the back, in the subconscious, because I wasn't good enough even when I was a fetus, still in the womb. And so you develop these belief systems in your mind subconsciously, not always in the forefront. And then you're living by that, and you're trying to prove yourself and seek that love and approval and acceptance, because you're trying to overcome the I'm not good enough story. So in my experience, my major for my earthbound college degree in life was self-love, because it was taught in, not necessarily like sit down, tell me, okay, Amie, you have to be loved by your family and your friends and all these other people. Well, that's not a topic of a conversation. That is learned by observation. So the idea that by watching and witnessing what my mom was doing was guiding me in believing that I needed a man or male to love me or to give me attention, to make me feel loved. So it was a continuous process outside of me, outside of me, outside of me is where the love came. It's all external. Friends, even girlfriends, you had to, conform, or I felt like I had to conform to them in order for them to uh, give me attention. So then I felt accepted and loved and good enough until something happened. We got in a tiff. And then that went out the window, and then back to, what did I do wrong? How come she left? How come they don't want to be friends? Right? So just continuous cycle. And then going into adulthood, still holding on to these stories and still looking outside of myself for love. And it wasn't until about my mid 30s that I really started embracing that self-love was already inside of me, because I am a spirit in body. And then from there, it was learning to nurture my spirit, nurture that love that was already inside of me, which meant, I don't know where that came from. A new accent, I have no idea. Which meant that self-care and nurturing how I talk to myself, how I treated myself, just being my best friend instead of expecting somebody else to be my best friend. And so that was I know that's my major. That's my major for my earth life experience this go around. And then a minor to me, well, along with self-love is worthiness, believing you deserve good things, um, being connected to compassion and kindness. So under self-love, the umbrella of self-love, just like going to college, there's all these little topics that you have to take that pertain to the major. And then the minor for me, I feel, is finances. And finances, again, it's all about worthiness, all about self-love, all about believing that I deserve good things. And just having those topics as an awareness. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to look back on my past and say, man, you did so many things wrong. I can't believe you did this. I did that enough at that time. I don't need to sit here now and do it again and again and again. But what I can do as a teacher and as a coach is to share. Now I can be in a space where I can share with people, these are the things I experienced, and these are the things I learned. If you choose to stay in that victim mentality that, oh, I did this and that was wrong, and I should have done it different, and I could have done this, and all these choices, and it led to that, and it was a shit show, and then all the shame and guilt attached to those. You just stay in this perpetuation of victimhood, and that is what you keep perpetuating. As long as your focus is on poor me, poor me, poor me, I should have, could have, would have, you're still perpetuating similar experiences. We call it same situation, different name, different face. And it keeps showing up over and over and over again until you choose to go, okay, if I keep experiencing this, it's not their fault. It's mine, because I'm not doing anything different. I'm not learning from these experiences to make different choices because I keep doing the same damn thing over and over and over and over again with the same results. It took me quite a while to embrace Albert Einstein's quote of, you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. So if you want to stay in victimhood and hold on to all the pain from the past, then you're in a victim mentality. You can't find a solution. You can't make a change. You can't do something different. You can't make different choices. So it's taking the opportunity to sit with yourself. Have enough love for yourself to sit in a space and go, okay, these similar experiences keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up. What am I going to learn from them? Instead of hanging on to what I did wrong, what am I going to learn from what I did? And taking those lessons to, so it's like writing a paper in, you know, creative in English class or creative writing. You write a paper and the teacher, when I went to school anyway, said, oh, your grammar was wrong, your word spelling sucks. My teachers wouldn't use that language. I might have, but they're not allowed to. But you need to rewrite this. Your languages, your words are misspelled. Your punctuation is incorrect, right? So then you got a grade. So let's say you got a D, and then the teacher's like, you just need to rewrite this if you want to get your grade up. And so in that time, it was, you can sink into the I'm not good enough story. Here I am getting it wrong again. I got it wrong when I became a baby in the fetus, like, or in the womb. I got it wrong because my biological dad took off, right? And I kept getting it wrong because I kept getting the abuse from two stepfathers. I kept getting it wrong because the boys didn't hang around, right? If you were in a relationship with a boy for like a week when you were in school, oh my God, that was like forever. That was a long time. 2 weeks was amazing. And when you start getting to that point where you're hitting a month, woo, child, that was awesome, right? But they ended up leaving because, I mean, there's such a variety of personalities in school, and the attraction, and the students are learning about themselves and deciding what type of personalities they are attracted to. And again, a lot of us, when we were kids, seeking the approval and acceptance outside of ourselves. So it was going from one person to the next, to the next, to the next, different relationship, but still coming back to the same thing, wanting to feel loved and accepted. So so each phase of my life just kept approving or confirming that I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. And then now you have the teachers who are saying, this paper is not good. You're getting a D. If you want to raise your grade, now you have to rewrite it. Okay, well, depending on your attitude about school, you either took that information the teacher gave you and dove in and did a better paper, or you said, screw this, I'm done. I don't want to do this. The teachers don't like me. They're always giving me a hard time, and I'm stupid and I can't grasp what they're teaching me. Their classes are boring, right? We have all these things that are pointing outside of ourselves. We keep pointing the finger that it's their fault, and it's not my fault. It's everybody else's fault. So that is staying in a victim mentality, that you just keep pointing the finger at everybody else and not taking the responsibility or effort to look within yourself and go, okay, well, how can I make this better? How can I do better? How can I make better choices? Well, until you can acknowledge that there's an issue and you recognize it and it keeps showing up, you're probably not going to make a change. But if you can sit with yourself and go, you know, this does keep showing up over and over and over, and it's time for me to decide to do things differently. And what does that entail? So that comes back to, I had to have self-love. I had to learn self-love. I didn't even know what that meant. I was like, I don't know what that is, because it's everybody else's job to love me. So I'm not sure, how am I supposed to love myself? Well, first of all, change your thought process. What kind of thoughts are you having about yourself? Are you still saying, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I'm fat, I'm short, I'm skinny, or too skinny, or I'm slow at learning things, or I'm too old to learn anything new, or I'm finding many conversations around that lately, that the people that I have conversations with, they bring the age into it. Well, I'm 70. What's the point? I'm too old. But I don't need to change that now. Okay. I mean, I'm going to love you and have compassion for you with wherever you are in your stage of life and how you feel about your stage of life and how you feel about your life. But in my head, and what works for me and what keeps me focused and on a path of learning and growing is, I want to continue, and every day I want to continue to learn and grow and do and be better in myself, so that I can do and be better towards others. First of all, that contributes to humanity, just treating people better. In my earlier days, because of all the anger and the shame and the guilt that I was carrying, I wasn't a very nice person, very judgmental, very critical, very sarcastic, put people down. It was not pretty. So I had to learn to shift that, because I knew that didn't feel good, but I didn't know how to change it. And so now, in my head and what works for me, and if it works for you, run with it. If it doesn't work for you, then do what works for you. Do what feels good to you. But what works for me and what feels good to me and what makes sense to me is that if we're going to come back again in another lifetime, and we carry forward some of the energy of previous lifetimes, that, and I've heard it called karma. The karma, what you put out, you get back. I don't want to come back and do this same story over again. And I know that there are many, many, many people that are on this planet that have experienced things in their life that they wish they had never experienced, ever. And they wouldn't wish it on their enemies. Like, I could not go through that again. So to think that I'm going to come back in another body, in another life, and if I don't get it now, if I don't make changes now, if I'm not doing and being better now, if I am not raising my conscious spiritual awareness, if I am not having self-love and developing that and getting better and better and better at that, then what's going to happen in the next lifetime? I don't know if I'm going to come back in the next lifetime. And I don't know what that life experience will entail. But what I do know is that I can clean up in this lifetime as much as I can, because that's under my control right now. And if I can get that uh, get my energy moving in a better direction, or a direction that feels good to me, then in my next life it could be way amazing. I mean, every life has a lesson. Every life is going to have a lesson. Every life. But I want to know, I want to feel like, I want to believe that I'm going to move into the next life with so much more love for myself and so much more love for others, and however that shows up. And that's all in my control right now, of how I am. And you know what? If reincarnation is a bunch of hooey and it's not real and it doesn't happen, what's the point? Well, the point is I'm doing something different now in this lifetime, and every choice I make emanates out to others. So if I choose to stay in the anger and the pain and be pissy all the time, I'm going to be rude to people. I'm still going to put people down. I'm going to criticize people. I'm going to judge people. I'm going to be rude. I'm just going to be a nasty person. There's different levels of nasty. There's different levels of rudeness. So depending on how I show up in that type of energy, that's what I'm going to bring forth to humanity. Now, I'm learning still, doing much, much better than I was, but loving myself, believing in my worthiness, believing that I deserve good things. I am becoming a better human in this lifetime right now. And that is what I share with other people. So now I have more compassion towards other people and what they are experiencing in their life and the choices and decisions that they make. Compassion would be the opposite of judging somebody. Like, I could judge you for being rude and saying nasty things, but my compassionate side says, wow, they've had a rough life, they had a rough childhood, they're dealing with some things that they haven't cleaned up yet, right? It's judgment or compassion. I get to choose that. I can give, dirty looks to people, and the people who go to the grocery store in their pajamas be like, sister, do you own a mirror? Okay, that used to be my attitude, with way more sarcasm. Never said it out loud because at the time I was an introvert, so I would think that they're gonna punch me in the face, and I don't want that kind of attention. But in my head, huge judgments. Now I'm like, hey, they're comfortable in their skin and they're comfortable with going out in public like that. It's not for me to judge. It's not my business. It's not my business. Doesn't matter what I think. Does not matter what I think. That is their choice. So in me, I want to be a better human, and I want to be an example of being a better person. And those people who are having struggles internally, my smile might change their day. My kind words might lift them up. You never know. Well, sometimes you know, but there are times that you never know how you affect a stranger. By lifting them up just with a compliment, a kind gesture, right? Helping somebody in the grocery store who can't reach the top shelf. In days past, this is one of the things. In days past, if there was something on the top shelf, and of course, I'm going to climb the shelf and I'm going to try to reach it. But if I couldn't reach it, I was done. I'd move on, forget it. I'll get it another day. And now I'm standing there, and if some tall person comes by, I'm like, hey, can you help me, please? I need that thing that's up there and I can't reach it. And every single time somebody helps me, every single time. We want to be in service to each other and embrace helping one another and be more genuine, be more compassionate, be more kind, be more lighthearted. We take life so seriously. You think a spirit in your body who is pure love and joy, connected to source, wants to be angry all the time? The spirit is not ever. The spirit is not ever angry or carrying shame or guilt. It is the human side of us that does that. So when you go inward and connect more to your spirit, the spirit of love, the spirit of joy, and embrace and nurture that more and more and more, then the rest of it will start to diminish, to fall away. And you will find that you will you will embrace your life and life experiences and people more. And any of it is a choice. Any and all of it is a choice. We make thousands of choices every day. Whether you realize it or not, we make thousands of choices every day. It's a choice to open your eyes when the alarm goes off. It's a choice to turn the alarm off. It's a choice to hit the snooze button. It's a choice to roll over and put the covers over your head, or it's a choice to take the covers off and get up. It's a choice to go use the restroom. It's a choice to get in the shower. It's a choice to brush your teeth, right? Everything we do is a choice. And what you choose to learn in this lifetime is up to you. Nobody can make you learn anything. Nobody can make you change anything. People are very good at bringing things into your awareness, like you did this wrong, or you're butthead, or you're being really cranky right now. They're really good at bringing that stuff to our awareness. But when we're in that space of not receiving the message that is being given to us, then we start pointing the finger that, well, I'm not doing anything wrong. You're just seeing me that way. And this is the way you're perceiving me, right? It's a pointing the finger. There's nothing wrong with me. There's everything wrong with you and the way you are taking my attitude. Even though I got my eyebrows up and moving my head, and it's never my fault. Well, there's room for change. There's room for change in all of us. Even in somebody who has been practicing for 20 years, there's still room for change and growth and expansion and improvement. And every day I'm learning something new. I have learned 50, okay? 50. And I have learned a lot about technology and marketing and verbiage. So much this year. If I was to use my age as an excuse, then I would not probably be here doing this video or this podcast or sharing this information. So you get to decide, you get to determine, do you want to be a better person in this lifetime? And then whether it's pertaining to reincarnation or not, I always remember what I put out, I get back. So if I'm going to be angry and cranky and sarcastic and rude and judgmental, guess what's coming back to me? And I've heard some people say it comes back tenfold. Some people say it comes back 100-fold. I don't even want one fold back because I don't want any of that. There was a time in my life that I had sat with myself, just me, and I said to myself, I don't even like me. Why would anybody else? I don't want to be with myself. Why would anybody else? And that was part of a realization that I'm the one that needed to change. And that was my responsibility, not anybody else's. So recognizing that the more good you put out, the more good that comes back. It's a reciprocation multiplied. And if you choose to wake up in the morning and decide right then and there, this day sucks, that's the energy you're putting out. That's the energy you're going to get back. And your experiences throughout the day are going to confirm that it's a sucky day. So if you wake up and it's raining and you just feel this heaviness and you're just like, can't believe it's raining, and you just look at it as a horrible thing, the rest of you're setting your day up. You're setting your day up for having a bad day. You're going to stub your toe. You're going to poke your eye with your mascara wand. You're going to run out of gas on the way to work. You're going to encounter mean customers or mean people throughout the day. Not mean, but disgruntled or not in a good space throughout the day. Maybe you'll burn dinner, right? It's just because you set that up. That's your expectation for the day just because it was raining. Whereas I love the rain. I embrace the rain. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's raining today. And I could just sit and just watch the rain fall all day. I could do that and just be there and listen and embrace the water. And find it to be a glorious day, and everything would be amazing because I set that up. I set that intention. So everything we do is a choice, and every thought that we have, we get to choose to give attention to it or not. So if I want to give attention to I'm a horrible person, I'm going to keep doing things that are going to confirm that. But if I am in a space to say, I'm a pretty good person, I help people, I provide content, valuable content to help people in their life journey. I talk to friends and people when they're in need. I offer my services a lot of times for free to help people in this journey. Like, I do a lot of good things, and I also have that good attitude to back it up. So, and the more I do that, the more good comes to me. And so what I put out, I get back. And that is energy, that is words, that is thoughts, that is actions. It all counts. All of it counts. What you put out, you get back. Most people think, well, I just need to keep giving money, give money. And then you get depleted. It's the intention behind that. It's the intention behind giving that money. It's the intention behind giving those gifts, that if you're doing it out of expectation that somebody owes you and they need to give it back to you, multiplied with interest, we got to let that story go. It's doing things from the heart, from the spirit, from the space of love, from the space of kindness. And I might give you $100 and then have the expectation that at some point you're going to give it back to me some way, whether it's a gift or buying me 5 lunches or whatever it might be. And then somebody over here and out of maybe 5 years ago, I lent them $300 and they pay me back. They send me a check and I get a check in the mail for $300. And then I'm still giving my attention to this $100 I gave you. I'm missing the point here. I gave you $100, $300 came into my experience. It's a reciprocation of energy, and I want to release the expectation that you're going to pay me back, or a reciprocation is going to come back from you. I want to do it from the kindness of my heart and through the joy of giving, not the expectation of giving. So keeping that in mind, especially with the holidays here, right? Christmas. And this has been a year of, I don't even know. I don't even know that there's one single word that could explain this year. But a lot of people have fallen on some hard times. Businesses, many businesses closing, many people laid off, many people put into a position financially that they haven't been in, like maybe ever in their life, or they finally got out of living a certain way, living on low funds, and now they've been thriving, and now they're back in a strapped position financially. And here we are with the holidays, with Christmas and gift giving, and putting that strain on ourselves that I need to buy all these gifts. I need to give people things for Christmas. I need to provide something. And if there was any a year that people would understand that you are not able to give a gift, this definitely is the year. And you have to be easy with yourself and show up. If you can't give a gift, bring your joy, bring your fun, bring your laughter, bring your love, bring something to the space of being with your family, and release the idea that it has to be a material thing. It has to be a tangible, touchable thing. I know there's been many times, and please know I'm very appreciative of the gifts that I received, because I know that that was the universe bringing back to me and showing me that when I give out from the kindness of my heart and through joy and love, that I do receive. But there's been many a times where I have received gifts and I'm like, this doesn't really fit with me. This doesn't fit in my wheelhouse. This doesn't fit with my decor. Like I don't have a lot of knickknacks because I'm not good at dusting. So when I get something and it's just going to sit on a shelf, yes, I receive it through the space of love, and I appreciate the gift and I appreciate the gesture. And I also think that this person could have probably used that money for something else. And through the kindness of their heart, they gave me a gift. And I so appreciate that. I really, really do. I'm the type of person, if when I give you a gift, you're going to be able to use it. It is a gift you will be able to use. Because I know what I feel like about having knickknacks and just dusting all the time, and it's not fun for me. And I would rather have something I can use. When I give a gift, it's gonna be something you can use or eat. I'm a foodie, so you can give me food. We're on, game on. Thank you. So just be mindful of what the holidays represent to you. And so for so many, it has a different representation. I know now that for me, as I do get older, that being in a space of having just a community of people together, again, this year, right? Having family gatherings, keeping them small when you're used to really big crowds, or having all the family together and having a really good time. Maybe you've been a family where you really didn't want to get together with your family. So this year might be a blessing to you that you don't have to do that, because they're not encouraging big crowds. They're encouraging very small groups of people. And so you don't have to go to a big family gathering, because you know it's uncomfortable, and sometimes things transpire in a bad way, and conversations happen that are a little sketchy that you don't want to be involved with, or arguments are started, whatever, and you're just like dreading those family gatherings. Maybe this year is a blessing to you, because you can't do that, and or it's a great excuse for you not to do that. But for those who do embrace being together with their family during these times of Christmas, even Thanksgiving, even those past New Year's, like, embrace the time you have together. That to me is more important than giving somebody something that they may not even. They'll say thank you and they'll appreciate it for sure. But it's just not something that they could use or desire. Let's put it that way. And your time, to me, if you're going to spend time with me during a holiday or any gathering, I want you to show up with your joy. I want you to show up with your laughter. I want you to show up with fun. I want to have a good time. That is the gift. That's the gift. When I have classes, and when we had classes in person, but now through technology, when I have classes, it's the connection, it's the community, it's the conversations, not surfacey conversations, meaningful conversations, deep dive conversations. What gets you excited? What are your goals? What do you want to do with the rest of your life? What are you working towards? What is fun to you? It's like getting to know each other in a different way that you never thought you would or have in the past connected. So that is a gift. How you show up in these gatherings is a gift. So it doesn't necessarily mean you need to bring an actual physical wrapped gift to give to somebody. I'm believing that people are going to remember me for how I showed up in their life rather than the gift I gave them. The gift is going to trigger a memory, but the memories are always there. But what I want them to remember is, how did I show up for them? That's my gift. How I show up for you, how I show up for my family, how I show up for my friends, how I show up for my clients, how I show up for my students. That's the gift. And so keep that in mind. If you are struggling in a financial type situation, don't make it about having to go buy things. Have a night of connection, of board games, card games, telling jokes, whatever it might be, to laugh together and embrace each other and love one another. To me, that's so much more important. So self-love, that's where I started. So we have self-love. When we treat ourselves better, then we treat others better. When we bring the joy into our own body, We bring that joy into the family gatherings. When we are telling ourselves, talking to ourselves in a better way, we have better conversations with others. When we shift our energy, our physical energy, our mental energy, our emotional energy, our spiritual energy, when we allow our spirit to shine, where we allow our spirit to have more presence, that is the love and the joy of who we really are, then that's what people feel when you walk in the room. And they'll gravitate towards you. They're just like, they just sitting next to you, they just have the most amazing time. I have been in places where I just show up and I sit there and I listen and I laugh and I hardly say anything, but people are like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. I'm like, I don't even know what I did, but okay. It's because I'm allowing my spirit to shine, to glow, to be bright. And we need that so much more now than ever before, because of our global state. And so many people are focused on the negative, on the people are seeing things as being horrible, but things have to be broken down, torn down, demolished in order to have new growth. We're in that phase. We're in new growth. And it might be some time before we see the fruition of things that are changing, but just know that you can take responsibility for how you show up. And being focused on the negativity and craziness that is out there, or focusing on being and doing better in yourself because you're loving yourself and allowing your spirit to shine, is a choice. Where you put your attention grows. So if you want to put your attention externally on all the stuff, all the topics, all the anger, that's going to just keep growing in energy. If you want to take that energy that you're putting outside of yourself and turn it inward and have that be more beneficial to you, that is a choice. That is in your control. Nobody can tell you to do that or not do that. That's up to you. And so just maybe take an inventory of, where am I putting my attention? What am I contributing my energy to? And does that feel good? It comes back to, does it feel good? Always listening to your body. I think Bev and I talk about this almost every single week. What feels good to you? So with that, I think I'm going to call it good, and let you know that I am an emotional resiliency coach, and I help people connect to their spirit and allow their spirit to shine. And that sometimes, usually all the time, takes some coaching in releasing the layers that have clouded your spirit because of your life experiences. And so getting through those layers of heaviness, emotional heaviness, so that we can get to the spirit that is in you, that has never left. It's still there, always will be there till you take your last breath. And then the spirit's going to leave the body, go back to source, and connect to that spirit more, connect to that love space more, to let that shine bright, to glow. And so this is what I do. I work with people in removing those emotional layers and working through them so that we can get connected to the love and joy of your true essence of you and your being. And Miss Beverly is a massage therapist, but she's very talented in in tuning into the body. And doesn't mean you have to have a massage with her. It could be over the phone or Zoom or something like that, where she is very talented in connecting to your body and intuitively delivering the messages that your tissues, your muscles, your bones, like your body is carrying to help you move through that. So she also does some coaching in that area as well. And so if you are interested in working with either one of us, you can send us an email at Amie, AMIE, and AND, Bev, BEB, at gmail.com. Amie and Bev at gmail.com. And we will respond to you. And we usually offer up complimentary, like a discovery call to see if we would be a fit to work with each other and help you move through whatever it is you may be going through. So with that, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. Wish you an amazing week. And hopefully Bev will be back with us next week and you can see her beautiful face and get both of us. And if not, I'll be here again. I love doing this and I love having the information to share with you to help your journey be easier in this lifetime and to help you get better and better and better at it. So just in case you come back in the next, we will hopefully have an easier experience and bring more of our glow, our spirit with us in the next lifetime. And it's just, I don't know. I just imagine what it would be like. And I think it would be amazing. So with that, have a great week and I'll see you next time. Take care.